Today we will look at Hospitality Studies Unit 1, and Unit 1 is the introduction to the global hospitality industry. Our learning objectives for this unit are to be introduced to the global hospitality industry, to define the hospitality industry, to investigate the growth of the hospitality industry, and to identify the size and scope of the industry, and also to classify the catering and commercial service sectors. The topics which we will look at are the introduction to the global hospitality industry, the history of the hospitality industry, the size and scope of the hospitality industry, grading organizations, and other hospitality related services. Cooper tells us that the tourism and hospitality industries are one of the world's largest sectors, amounting to over 10% of gross domestic product. The tourism sector also employs a huge number of people, approximately 8% of the global workforce. So, how do we define hospitality? Jones would tell us that due to its complex nature, defining the hospitality industry is very difficult. The Standard Industrial Classification, or SIC 1968, defined it as establishments, whether or not licensed for the sale of intoxicating liquors, providing meals, light refreshments, drink, or accommodation. Knowles further describes the hospitality industry as any combination of the three core services of food, drink, and accommodation, a blend of tangible and intangible elements, and the service, atmosphere, and image that surrounds these elements. So, what is the size and scope of the hospitality industry? The hospitality sector includes all businesses that provide food, beverages, and/or accommodation services. This includes restaurants, pubs, bars and clubs, hotels, contract catering, and hospitality services. So, hospitality within the private sector. Generally, accommodation falls into two types: serviced and non-serviced. Serviced would include hotels, so formal accommodation offering full services. These can include country house hotels with big gardens set in the countryside, or metro hotels found in a city centre. Another one are guest houses. Accommodation in a guest house would be for more than 6 paying guests, with the owner and staff providing further services, for example, dinner. Bed and breakfast, or B&B. This accommodation is provided in a private house by the owner for up to 6 paying guests. It also includes farmhouses, a B&B or guest house accommodation provided on a working farm. Non-serviced accommodation, so apartments, villas or cottages. These are privately owned by individuals or companies where guests provide their own food and do their own cooking. Campus accommodation in university halls of residence where tourists can rent rooms out for the duration of their college term. A youth hostel is generally basic accommodation where guests stay in dormitories or rooms with other people and kitchen facilities are provided. Campsites are privately owned land where tourists pay a nightly fee to pitch their tent or caravan, with washing and electricity sometimes provided on the site. The food service sector. This particular sector, also known as non-accommodation hospitality services, generally consists of restaurants, fast food outlets, cafeterias, public houses. So by public houses we mean pubs, bars, clubs and canteens. So we have looked at private sector accommodation. Now, what do we mean by government-related hospitality organisations? Education and professional qualifications. Due to the growth of the service industries in recent years, training and education in the hospitality and catering industries has become paramount, and many educational establishments and training organisations have sprung up to support existing and future employees within the industry to gain the necessary training and professional development they need. Grading organisations. Most countries have a grading system for offered accommodation, and this generally follows a 5-star grading scheme, with 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. In the United Kingdom, a number of organisations provide rating systems for the hospitality industry. This includes the AA, or Automobile Association, Visit Britain, which is a national and regional tourist board, Michelin, including the world-renowned restaurant and chef grading, and the RAC, or Royal Automobile Club. Guy explains that hotel grading systems are designed to fulfill a number of different needs. 5 of the most important are standardization. So this is to establish a system of uniform service and product quality that helps to create an orderly travel market distribution system for buyers and sellers. Marketing. This is to advertise to travellers on the range and type of hotels available within a destination as a means of promoting the destination and encouraging healthy competition in the marketplace. Consumer protection. This is to ensure that the hotel meets minimum standards of accommodation, facilities and service within classification and grade definitions. Revenue generation is to provide revenue from licensing the sale of guidebooks and so forth. Control. This is to provide a system for controlling general industry quality. The following table details the hotel grading system in the UK based on the AA, or Automobile Association, accommodation grading standards. In a 1-star establishment, we could expect courteous staff to provide an informal yet competent service. The majority of rooms are ensuite, and a designated dining area serves breakfast daily and dinner most evenings. In a 2-star establishment, all rooms are ensuite or have private facilities. A restaurant or dining room serves breakfast daily and dinner most evenings. In a 3-star hotel, staff are smartly and professionally presented. All rooms are ensuite, and the restaurant or dining room is open to residents and non-residents. In a 4-star hotel, professional, uniformed staff respond to your needs or requests, and there are usually well-appointed public areas. The restaurant or dining room is open to residents and non-residents, and lunch is available in a designated eating area. In 5-star luxurious accommodation and public areas will have a range of extra facilities and a multilingual service available. Guests are greeted at the hotel entrance, and a high quality menu and wine list is usually provided at the restaurant. The AA Rosette system. Rosette awards for hotels with restaurants. They are awarded annually to AA inspected restaurants for the quality of their food. Most star-rated hotels have their own restaurants which are regularly inspected. Not all restaurants receive an AA award, but will generally serve enjoyable food of a reasonable standard. Advantages and disadvantages of using a grading system. The advantages would be it maintains standards within the sector, it assists with marketing of establishments, and assists customers in selecting hotels. Some disadvantages of using a grading system would be that not all accommodation is graded, as it is not compulsory. A quality system does not always guarantee quality, and grading can vary from one country to another. For example, a 4-star hotel in China may be a different standard to a 4-star hotel in the US. This disparity can affect customer satisfaction. There are other services which are often related to the hospitality sector. Accommodation and food are often only part of the product, with other hospitality related services a key way for a hotel to differentiate from its competitors. Let's look at some other hospitality related services. Accommodation and food are often only part of the product, with other hospitality related services. These are a key way for a hotel to differentiate from its competitors. Gambling, for example, so casino divisions within hotel and catering companies. Examples would be Rank Organisation, Stakis and Stanley Leisure. In sport, active sport, many hotels have health centres and gyms for guests and for private members. Passive sport, so some hotels put on sports events so as to bring in sports fans to watch major events such as boxing, for example, in the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Visitor attractions. Some visitor attractions, in particular the larger purpose-built resorts, include many hotels and catering facilities as a part of their product. Examples include the Disney resorts and major theme parks including Alton Towers in the UK.